Hi, I'm the Top Dog, Eileen Proctor, here with another episode of Fervently Speaking on VLP TV. That's Villa La Paz Cage-Free Pet Resort and Spa. And this month, hiking with your hounds. You know, hiking with a dog is a lot of great fun, and it's a fabulous way to explore the flora and the fauna of your neighborhood. But before you head to the trailhead, make sure you take heed of these important tips for trekking with your tail wagger. Prior to your hike, you want to make sure that your pet has his current ID. That would be an easy-to-read name tag or a microchip, because it is possible that he or she will find a site or a scent that he wants to go after, and you won't be able to grab him too easily. So make sure he's easily returnable, and make sure that ID is up to date. Before you go for nice long hikes, why don't you try a few shorter hikes? You know, you want to make sure that your pet's endurance is built up. You don't want to strain any muscles or ruin the bottom of any paws because they weren't quite toughened up yet. So go on a number of shorter excursions and build yourself up to those long day trips that I know you and he want to take. You want to acclimate your dog to the protective gear that is most probably what he's going to be wearing while he's trekking. I'm talking about the protective booties, and I'm talking about the doggy backpacks. Those backpacks hold a lot of gear, including the snacks and the water that you're going to want to bring along. And it's not that it's so heavy, but if your dog's not used to carrying it, he may favor one side or the other and actually throw his back out or strain a muscle. So practice at home wearing the doggy backpack with the ingredients to make sure that your dog is ready to carry it on the trail. You're going to want to put together a first aid kit just in case. It doesn't have to have a whole lot of things in it. How about just a pair of tweezers to pull out cactus burrs, some scissors perhaps, some disinfectant to wipe down a wound or an abrasion should you get one, and some bandages just in case you need them. You're going to want to call in advance to the area that you want to hike to make sure that your pet is allowed there, because believe it or not all state parks are allowing pets to walk on leash or even off leash at all times. So make sure you know the hours and the particular trails that you are allowed to be on, because you don't want to get a citation or annoy the park rangers. Let's make sure that your pet is in really good health. In addition to being up to date on vaccinations, you want to make sure that your dog's muscles are stretched out. And you can do this very easily before any hike. Just lift up the legs, lift out the arms, stretch out the neck, and rub the muscles, making sure that he's totally limber and ready to go. You also want to not take your dog for long hikes if he's got any kind of hip or back problems. Not without a veterinarian's okay. And finally, what you want to make sure before you go on your hike is that you know the location of the nearest veterinary facility. We never expect anything to happen, but you need to know where it is, just in case. During the hike, you want to make sure that you stay on the designated trails. Don't go wandering off. Number one, there's lots of cactus and bramble and small animals that may not be conducive to your particular pet. You want to make sure that you keep your pet on a leash at all times, even in off-leash areas. This is really very important, because I know you can vouch for your pet, but what about the other pets and animals of the forest or the trail that you cannot account for? Keeping your dog on your leash will make sure that you keep injuries to a minimum and you never lose track of where your dog is. Make sure that you watch your dog's paws on the burning sand, on the jagged rocks, on the hot asphalt, all surfaces that your pet's not familiar with. You may want to actually rub some Vaseline or protective cream on the bottom of the paw pads before you leave to make sure that your pet doesn't develop any kind of blisters. You're definitely going to want to avoid the extreme heat. The best time to go hiking is in the very early morning or after sundown. A lot of people think that you might want to go in the afternoon because of the beautiful sunshine. That's the worst time for your pet. It's also the worst time for you. The sun beats down on you and it actually bakes you. So please make sure that you're watching for the temperatures, especially as we near the summer months. As your pet is walking, he is not going to be thinking about his comfort. So you've got to watch out for signs of overheating. That would be rapid panting, perhaps a purple tongue, some sluggishness. If you see any of these signs whatsoever, stop hiking and seek shade. And encourage your pet to drink some cool water slowly so that he is able to revitalize himself and continue with the hike. It goes without saying that you're going to be picking up after your pet. Bring plenty of those little plastic baggies, you know the drill. And by the way, be courteous to the other hikers. Actually, they have the right of way. Your dogs are only permitted on the trails as an accommodation to you, so please make sure that you do nothing that causes them to have to be asked to leave the premises. Okay, you've had a wonderful hike. You and your pet are coming off the trailhead and ready to go home. You want to make sure you check the fur for any types of ticks, foxtails, or burrs. You don't want them to go home with you because your dog will start to pull at them and possibly swallow them. That can make the day kind of end on a bad note. So make sure that you bring a comb and comb out any type of debris that the fur may have collected. Attend to any kind of minor scrapes if they've occurred, because you don't want your dog to get any really heavy-duty abrasions from them. And make sure you rehydrate before you go home. Feed them more of that cool water. You can never give your pet too much water. One closing piece of advice: keep an eye on your pet for the first, 24 to 48 hours after a hike. Observe any type of odd behavior. See if he's limping or walking funny or acting a little bit off-kilter. You want to make sure that you see what's happening with your pet so that you can adjust his activity the next time you guys head to the trailhead. So I'm the Top Dog, Eileen Proctor, and the information that I've been giving you is from my book, Top Dog's Top Tips for Tip-Top Dog Care, What Your Best Friend Wants You to Know, available at Villa La Paz on Shea and Bell. And I'll be back with you again next month with another episode of Fervently Speaking on VLP TV. That's Villa La Paz Cage-Free Pet Resort and Spa, and we'll see you again next month.